All right, folks, I'm going to answer the question that no one can seem to get an answer to. Why is my claim taking so long? So first of all, I'm going to address this thing head on. The reason your VA claim is taking so long is because, number one, there's just a lot of claims out there. And if you want, I'm going to link this down below in the video, but there's actually a dashboard that tells you how many claims there are in any given week, and it's updated weekly with the statistics. Some of the statistics I'm a little bit wary of, I just don't think are accurate, but some of them give us a good oversight into what's going on. The first is, right now, I'm recording this video on May 14th, 2024, and as of earlier this week, there were 952,928 claims pending, almost 1 million claims. That's down from a high. I believe that there were over 1 million claims at one point, especially in the early days of the PACT Act. So that gives us a little bit of insight as to what's going on. Now, the other thing is that this one has a average case time tracker as well. And right now, as of May 14th, 2024, the average fully developed claim is taking 155.4 days. The average non-fully developed claim is taking 153.4 days. Interesting, right? It's actually almost 2 days less, but when you're talking about 155 days, which is over 5 months, that 2 days doesn't really make a huge difference. The VA OIG said that some claims have taken over a year, and I have some right now that are over 365 days old. Some are sitting in a backlog for nobody knows what reason. In my own personal experience, some of them have been assigned through what's called the National Work Queue, or the NWQ, to various offices that just don't have the capacity to handle them. And unfortunately, once they get assigned to those offices, they seem to stick with those offices. Now, what the National Work Queue was supposed to do was it was supposed to reassign cases based on workflow and workload all across the country, across all the regional offices nationwide and even overseas, because we do have some VA regional offices overseas, believe it or not. But the National Work Queue, as it's currently set up, doesn't really do that. They are working on a National Work Queue 2.0 that'll debut sometime in 2026, and that might solve some of these problems. But if your claim goes to an office that just has a backlog, it's going to have a backlog for a while, unfortunately. So out of the May through July timeframe of 2022, now this data is almost 2 years old, there were 433,000 claims that were done mostly in 125 days or less. But the OIG identified over 10,000 claims that were 365 days or older, and they were still awaiting decision in the National Work Queue. Now that's really old. That's a really long time. Now, you might ask, well, what's going on in the system to cause this? And it depends. Sometimes it's a specialized claim, like it's a Blue Water Navy claim or a NEMR claim. Sometimes what happens is the VA doesn't develop them properly, and somebody catches it and has to go back a couple steps, and they have to send out additional notifications, and there are delays anywhere along the process. There's no consistency across the board. I have had cases filed where we're still waiting on a supplemental claim from a year ago, but we filed a new claim recently for the veteran, and that was decided within 4 months, but the supplemental claim has been waiting for over a year. So there's no consistency across the board. And I like to tell my veteran clients, listen, there's a lot you can do to slow down your claim, but there isn't a lot you can do to speed it up. What I recommend, one of the things you can do to make things move as fast as possible is to bring your own non-VA medical and non-DoD medical records to the VA, instead of asking the VA to get them for you. That can be a time-consuming process. The second thing people can do is to attend the C&P exam when they call. And again, the C&P exams are a messed up situation. They call you, expect you to drop everything and drive an hour to go to an exam. I know it's not great, but if you have to reschedule, that can really eat into the process. The next thing is, and this is really sort of systematically, is think about what you're filing. Think about what claims you're filing, what the 3 pillars of service connection are, how you think they're related to service, and not just piling claim upon claim upon claim. Figure out what you have, what's wrong, and what you can relate to service, and draw the connection there. By throwing 40 or 50 different conditions on there through multiple claims, you may not be speeding anything up, and you may actually be slowing your own claims process down as the VA tries to catch up and merge some of these claims sometimes. So again, this is one of those slow is smooth and smooth is fast type processes. Be methodical, be intentional, and file what you need to file with the evidence you think supports it, which is your own non-VA medical records. Tell the VA where to find your VA medical or DoD medical records and go from there. With that in mind, I don't have the big answer as to why the VA is taking so long. It's A number of factors. It's the sheer volume of claims, bureaucratic inefficiency. Quite frankly, I don't think the national work queue is managed all that well. I don't think the VA has that great systems to process the volume of claims. And that's a shame, because I think that there are probably lots of people at the VA who are doing their best to do right by the veteran. But the system is such, with things like productivity requirements, that no one has time to actually take a look at a file, a hard look at a file, and really figure out what's going on. So it's a lot of block check and moving on to the next, without really being smart and efficient and taking the time to understand what's going on in a case. I don't know how helpful this has been. I just wanted to let you guys know this is facing everybody. Be very cautious about anyone claiming that they can get your claim expedited, or that they can get you to 100% in 6 months, or that they can do this, that, and the third for you, because there's so little consistency across the VA enterprise. That even the best claims that we put in with the most amount of evidence possible that are just buttoned up tight, the VA will find a way to delay and screw it up. It's just the way it is. But you can reduce the odds of that happening by being intentional and methodical about how you file your claims. With that in mind, I appreciate you tuning in. Hit like, subscribe, what have you. Do all the YouTube stuff. Until next time, take care.